Hello viewers, today we are discussing about the session of Linux basics. What is the Linux? Linux is the free and open source operating system. The core, the Linux operating system is derived from the Unix OS. Linux was created in the 1960 by Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson. Both of them also invented the C programming language. Linux was initially named GNU and was developed by Richard Stallman. Linux was the name of the kernel created in 1991 by Linus Torvald, a student of the University of Helsinki. People started calling GNU OS Linux because of the name of the kernel. There are several distributions are available in the Linux. For particularly some example popular distributions are example Debian, Ubuntu, CentOS, OpenSUSE, Mint, Gentoo, Slackware. These are the existing real world Linux flavors, which means distributions. Different distributions available in the market. What distributions of Linux do exist? Secondarily, there are Red Hat, SUSE, Oracle, Scientific Linux, Turbo Linux, Linux Mandriva. These are the second type of Linux distributions, but this is commercial versions. Some subscriptions value can be added. There is value added services available in these versions. It's not completely open source, completely free. It's some charge will be added. Subscription charge will be added. This is somehow commercial versions. The Red Hat Linux, the Red Hat Linux is for example, the Red Hat Linux is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, like that. Some versions are desktop normal versions. Red Hat Enterprise Linux, the enterprises versions are commercial versions, which is some added value, some charges are applied. Same thing SUSE, just SUSE Linux, it's only free, but SUSE Linux Enterprise Server is some value added, some charges will be applied. Oracle Linux, Scientific Linux, Turbo Linux, Linux Mandriva. These are also some value added distributions, some commercial versions, some charges will be applied. Linux also can be used as a servers, HTTP, that means web server, file transfer protocol, DNS file server, etc. The same thing in Windows also, but the Windows servers are commercial versions, which is huge value added services. It's a commercials, but these are servers, Linux servers. It's a value added, some free, open source. There is no charges can be applied. For example, desktop Microsoft Windows XP, Vista 7, 8 family, those operating systems are desktop versions, but there is a charge, commercial versions. But the same thing in Linux, there is no charge applied. It's a free and open source. It's a free available. Who can able to download it and you start using it. Not only desktop and servers, this Linux not only for used desktop and servers, also can be used router, firewall, switches also. Some software firewalls also available, and switches, routers also available. We can make it as a real world firewall, real world servers, real world switches. We can able to make it like a hardware things. For example, many things software firewalls are available. For example, Indian firewall. Indian firewall especially for only firewall and routing. If we need to replace hardware firewall into the software firewall, we can start using Indian firewall. There is several versions are available. Depends the versions. You can have apply the rules and regulations in that firewall rules. Router also we can make it as a router in that Indian firewall, and switches. How we make it in the hardware switch itself? Same thing, we can make it as a software switches and routers in that software firewall itself. And Linux also we can use it as smartphone itself. Android versions basically created by the Linux itself. Gaming consoles also we can use it in the Linux. There is many concern about the Linux. Many things are we can add it in that, use it in the real world. The kernel is the heart of the operating system. It interacts with hardware and most of the tasks like memory management, task scheduling and file management. Shell. The shell is the utility that processes your request. The main thing is, if the Linux operating system is kernel. Already we have seen that kernel is the heart of the operating system. That same itself, the shell also very important in the operating system. The shell is the utility that processes your request. When you type in command at the terminal, the command called the program that you want. The shell was standard syntax for all commands. C shell, Barney shell and corn shell are most of the famous shells available in the most of the main important commands and utilities are cp command, move command, cat command and grep command. Cp, just command apply. Cp means you can copy over there one file to another file, one location to another location. Just command you can apply cp. And mv is the move command. Just you, instead of the copy, just you move the file one location to another location. The cat command, just you view the files. The same thing, cat command you can apply for the view the files. Grep command you can use for searching the same pattern of the files. You can sort and get it searching using by grep command. There are over 250 standard commands plus numerous other provides third-party softwares. All the commands come along with the various optional options. In the picture I showed that simplified architecture of the Linux. This see in the picture, the center of the circle, it's called hardware. After that kernel, a second circle. The kernel which is managed hardware as well as software. The first thing is important, I told you that shell. First thing is hardware. It's a kernel is controlled hardware as well as software operating system, the shell. There is a final circle, it shows that application programs, whatever the applications like HTTP, FTP, some other DNS, some other protocols are available in the application programs. And the third circle, it's called file structures. I told you that some simple commands cp move command and cat command, like that commands, it commands and file structure, file folder structures and all available in the third sector. In the Linux itself, most of the application, main application is the remote access. We can use the remote access to any servers, any locations globally. For example, SSH server can be installed like this, open source server itself. There is a command called yum install OpenSSH server. This command will install the server itself in the operating system itself. There is a command start and stop services in that SSH server. SSH restart, SSH start. The command will be changed version to version, distribution to distribution. For example, in the Ubuntu, the command called sudo service SSH restart. It can use for the restart the server, SSH server. The same thing, same operation, it will change in the different type of versions of the distributions. In the Red Hat Linux and CentOS itself, the command can be applied service SSD start. We discussed already about that bash shell. Bash shell is Linux basic shell. Bash is command process that typically run in the text windows, where the user types command that cause action. Bash runs scripts, Python, Perl and etc. It has been ported to Windows via Cygwin. Yes, we can able to access the Windows also by using Cygwin. So we can use the Cygwin in the Windows version itself. We can able to access the Linux versions, Linux distributions. Another thing is bash, the golden rule. The bash shell we can use and understand many commands about the man. Man stand for manual. So if we apply them, if we know about the any commands, completely description of that commands, what is doing that command, it's just we can understand, apply this command man ls. For example, man ls, we can completely understand about the ls command, what's the doing, what are the procedures it's taking actions. And man cd is change directories. And also if you apply man cd called, we can able to understand completely description of the change directory, how to change, what is the parameters we can able to apply, all the description things we can able to understand through applying man cd. Man grep, the same thing, grep already I explained that, grep it's a search pattern. The same thing, man grep, we can able to completely understand about the grep command. If we applied who am I, who's logged in, everything we can able to understand, simply apply a single command. Who am I? It will show the user who are currently logged in that. If you need to able to understand system information, just you can apply the uname. Uname command, it shows the kernel versions. What are the kernel versions we have installed the operating system itself? We can able to understand by applying uname. And also versions. What are the versions we are using apart from the kernel version? LSB underscore release -a. This command prints distribution information. What are the distribution, whether it is Ubuntu or Linux, Ubuntu or Red Hat or anything versions, we can able to understand about the distributions version, release and date, everything we can able to understand by applying LSB release -a. Same thing I was telling that copying, renaming and deleting files. These commands are also simple commands. Day to day we are using the commands. For deleting command, we can use the you can use for rm followed by file name. It will remove completely completely the file name, file and folders. It's a delete command. Also I explained that same thing. Change the directory, location to location, folder to folder. We can able to change using by this. I was explaining the greps. Grep is the grep using for the search pattern. For example, if you need to check the log files messages, just use that grep error space /var/log/messages. We can able to search messages from the pattern which are the content we need, which are the error message. We can able to find that. We can apply that grep command using by grep command. More command also the same thing will be able to understand that. The less command, it's file pattern itself. That also view the files. For example, the file, it's a log folder itself, my folder itself, the file will be available. So we can able to use that less command. We can able to find the file from my folder, log folder and the file. We can able to search the file pattern. Some hardware component like a hard disk, like that, description and other hard disk size, space, that and all we can able to understand from the simple command using by du. Du is what are the size of the files and folders. Simply we can able to understand about the server load, how much the server carrying over the load, which are the processes continuously running, what are the current load it's going on the server. That simply can apply the top command. You can able to completely under several parameters. For example, processor taking the load and memory, how much taking the memory for the process and general server load. All the things are we can able to understand simply applying the top command. Here I showed that Linux directory hierarchy. There are important directories available in the root directory itself. Root directory is the master directory. It's like administrator users, you can able to use that root directory. Others cannot be able to log in that root directory. So in the root directory itself, carry over the bin directory, boot directory, device, etc, home, library, media, MNT and OPT, SBIN, SRV, temp, user, var, root, probe. These are the folders available in the root. In this hierarchy, depends on the folders carried over the different types of file types. For example, the bin directory means its executable files are available in that particular folder, and that boot folder itself, what are the starting up the system files, all the files carrying over this particular boot folder, and device, DEV, that folder itself carrying over what are the hardware modules, that files are not available in the device folder. etc is the configuration files are available. And home, the home folder itself, what are the users, current users and creating users, what are the current users you have created, all the users information available in the home directory. And library, Library, it's a system library files are available. And media, the media is external devices which are connected in that system, that will carrying over that media. For example, CD drive or floppy drive or anything media we can able to attach in that, the media folder can be able to taking over that. And my MT is mounting the devices. For example, we have to mount it in the mount it with the attached with the systems or servers. The MT folder will taking over that. So mounting and taking the system distribution. OPT, SBIN, SRV, temp, like that, all the folders carrying over different type of operating folders, operating files it will carrying over there. For example, temp, what are the temporary files which can carry over there. Where folder itself, what are the log files or what are the log files in the systems, all the files it will carrying over that folder. And users and groups, it's similar to Windows only. Linux has limited access users and by default one administrator called root. Root is the username or account by default access to all commands and files on the Linux. Root is the right user can able to administrate the user. That is also super user. That if some of the non-root users also can using the root user files and folders, by granted the root user can permit by applying sudo command. We can able to use the root user access. Okay, viewers. Today up to we have discussing about the basic functionality of the Linux. In the future session, we can able to discuss some other basic things and all we can able to discuss. If you like this channel, please subscribe and press nearby bell button. Thank you.